So, hello. I talk to and hear from so many people and also believe that this trend of body image and exercise and all of these things can be really beneficial for lots of people, and it is beneficial for all of us in the ways that we are able to move our bodies, and the more you move, the easier it is to move. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff. And I think that it's very easy to get obsessed with the physical aspect or component of our journey and kind of not pay attention to the other aspects of our journey. Now, saying that, I also know and I feel and I believe that to have and to be able to access the other parts of our journey, we need to be able to move our bodies and be able to open up some of this tightness and this stuck energy that we accumulate and store in our bodies. So the movement part is critical to being able to more easily access the other parts of our journey. So breath work, meditation, and on and on and on. So for today's practice, we are going to do a little bit of movement to just kind of get the physical body settled and a little more open, and then just a little bit of breath and a little bit of meditation, because really you don't have to give like hours and hours of time and attention and focus to your journey. Just give some attention and time to your journey, whatever that journey looks like for you. So stand up, make sure you have some place to sit down. I always, once I sit down to breathe and do some meditation, like to have a sweater or a scarf or something to cover up with. So you're just gonna start shaking it out. Shake your hands, stomp your feet, step wide, move your hips side to side. You can move your torso around, move your hips. Like, it doesn't have to be anything specific or prescribed, right? So just the fact that you are moving, as you move, breathe deeply and fully, both inhales and exhales. Doesn't really matter if you're breathing in and out through your nose or your mouth, just that you're breathing. If you know that there's a part of your body that kind of always feels tight, stretch there. If you're not sure what to do, just fling your arms around. This is a great way to move some energy through your body. And again, it doesn't have to be something that's super long or like really intense, right? When you're stretching, if you find a spot that's like, oh, this is a good spot, stay here for a few breaths or one breath or whatever, then do that. Once you sit down, so, right, I mean, this is like 2 minutes maybe of movement. Then once you sit down, and see, even that movement has like opened up through my chest and opened up through my breathing. Sit down, feet flat to the ground, take one ankle, cross it on top of the other knee, and then just roll the ankle around. As much as you can, try to sit up tall. Move the ankle in both directions, and then just, kind of stretch your toes. You can pull the toes back. Our poor feet don't get enough attention, and yet they literally work for you all day long. Then you just switch sides again, right? Like, nothing super big or strenuous. It's just taking some time to pay attention to yourself. And remember that yourself is all aspects. So it's your physical self, mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic, because ultimately we are all just energy. And not just to minimize it, but like, to be very simple, that's what we are. We're all just energy. Stomp your feet. This will feel like just sometimes little shocks or vibrations just coming up all the way. It's also a great way if you're feeling super stressed to just like imagine the stress or the stressor and just be stomping it out. And then you pause. Notice how you feel. So you can choose to keep your feet on the ground, or if there's another way that you feel more comfortable seated, do that. So I like cross-legged. There's a great little pillow here that I'm just going to put right at my sits bones to help lift my hips a little higher than my knees. And then you sit up tall. Again, you can sit with your feet flat on the ground. You could extend your legs all the way out in front of you. The important thing is to keep your spine as erect as possible. And then just some breathing and clearing exercises. The first one we're going to do, I heard this in the book by James Nestor called Breath. And so I'll describe it to you and then I'll show it to you and then you can practice it. So you exhale all your breath through your mouth. And then you're gonna plug your nose so that both nostrils are pinched. Shake your head up and down, side to side as you're holding the breath. As soon as you cannot hold your breath anymore, release the nostril, breathe in through the nose, as long and as slow as you can, and then slow exhale out through the mouth, as long and as slow as you can. And then you'll just repeat this a few times, working on keeping the hold a little bit longer. Some things that will happen with the hold is you might hear like, blood pounding in your ears. You might feel weird or feel like you're starving for breath. Remember, you're in control, so you just open up your nose whenever you need to. So begin, you exhale all your breath through your mouth, plug your nose, and then start to shake your head side to side, nod it up and down. When you cannot hold your breath anymore, unplug your nose, breathe in and exhale, and then you do it again. You can take a couple of breaths as break in between, whatever works for you. This should help to clear out your nasal passageways, and anytime that we can focus on what you are making your breath do is a grounding practice. So I'm going to do it a couple of times, which means I won't be talking, and hopefully you are also doing this at the same time. So do one more. Let your breath return back to its normal pattern. This time breathe in and out through your nose. And you don't need to make the breath be any sort of length or sequence. Just breathe normally, but in and out through your nose. Maintain the uprightness of your spine. Hands can go anywhere that feels comfortable for you. And if it feels safe and okay, you can close your eyes, or you can soften your gaze. So maybe just look down, or you can just stare at something straight in front of you, right? It's all okay. With normal breath pattern, take your attention to your heart space. Imagine breathing and taking your attention, your awareness into and around your heart center. Depending on your level of visualization, you can, as you breathe, imagine a light in your heart center just increasing and filling up in this heart center area. Perhaps you feel a temperature or sensation as your attention and breath focuses on your heart space. Maybe you even observe tightness or fear or some trepidation. And whatever it is that is coming up for you, know that in this moment, you are safe, you are working on becoming more grounded, more centered through your heart. And whatever feelings or sensations or thoughts come up for you are things that needed to come up for you. Stay focused with your breath, with your attention to the heart space. There is no need to change or fix anything, for the simple fact that everything is meant to be exactly as it is. Also, you don't need to follow a storyline on whatever it is that's popping up for you either. So if you catch yourself floating off into a story, congratulations, you've caught this tendency to not be present, and then you gently and lovingly bring yourself back to heart space, to paying attention to your breath. In this moment, with this attention and intention, this centering and grounding into heart space, anybody else that is doing this practice at the same time as us, we are connecting our energetic frequency. That idea of being just energy, that awareness that we have to move this physical body to open up and give more space for our ability to connect and find our energy. Perhaps in this moment, you can expand your heart center attention. Maybe just get a little bigger. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, find some love to give to yourself. If that feels wonky or hokey, find some peace to give to yourself. Maybe just find some awareness and gratitude for taking some time to move and breathe without it needing to be a big, huge thing. Roll your shoulders if that feels good to you. Acknowledge your efforts
your time and this practice. Thank you for doing this, for being you, and for sharing in your energy with me in this moment. This is something we could all do every single day,
regardless of the time. See you later.